On August 11, a new Indian weapon took to the skies for the first time. It's called Divyastra Mark III, and it's built around a problem militaries have wrestled with for decades. Speed and patience don't usually come in the same package. Missiles are fast but need a target locked in before launch. Drones can wait and watch, but they're slow and unarmed. Divyastra tries to be both. It waits like a drone, then it strikes like something much faster. Here's how and why it matters. A conventional missile only works if you already know where the target is. Point it, fire it, done. But war rarely hands you a fixed confirmed target. Enemy positions move, radars switch on for seconds and then relocate. Launch vehicles fire once and disappear. A surveillance drone handles the not knowing part. It can fly over an area, gather information and return home. But it's not a weapon. It watches, it doesn't hit. Loitering munitions sit in the gap between these two. Sometimes called kamikaze drones or suicide drones, they launch towards a general area rather than a fixed point. Once airborne, they circle and search, waiting for the right target to show itself. And when it does, the drone stops loitering and dives straight into it. There's no return trip. The explosive payload is built into the airframe and the aircraft is destroyed on impact. This makes them especially effective against targets that don't stay put: mobile radars, missile launchers, command vehicles. A radar might power up for 30 seconds before relocating. A launcher might fire once and move within minutes. A loitering munition can already be overhead when the window opens, ready the instant target appears. Most loitering munitions run on propellers. Propellers are fuel efficient, which means the drone can stay airborne and searching for a long time. That's the whole appeal: endurance. But propeller-driven drones are also slow, and slow becomes a liability the moment a target is spotted. Consider it from the target's perspective. A launcher that has just fired knows it has limited window before something comes hunting for it. If the incoming threat is slow, the crew has time to pack up and leave, or the site's air defenses have to detect and shoot the drone down before it closes the distance. Divyastra Mark III addresses this by replacing the propeller with a miniature turbojet engine. Developed by Lucknow-based Kawa UAV, also known as HoverIt, with the engine itself built by Indian firm DG Propulsion, the aircraft is designed to keep the loitering capability of a drone while cutting down drastically on the time it needs to reach a target once it is identified. It waits like a propeller-driven drone, but when it commits to an attack, it closes in far faster. None of this is free. Jet engines burn more fuel than propellers, and a loitering munition still needs enough endurance to hang around and search before it ever gets to strike. So there's a constant balancing act between how long the weapon can loiter and how quickly it can close in once a target appears. Engineers essentially have to decide how much patience they are willing to trade for how much speed, and Divyastra Mark III is India's attempt to find a workable middle ground using turbojet propulsion instead of the usual propeller. So why not build a faster missile instead? Because missiles and loitering munitions solve different problems. If you know exactly where your target is, a missile is the better tool. But if you only know a target will appear somewhere in a given area at some point, a missile can't help you. It needs a fixed point to aim at. A loitering munition gives you the one thing a missile can't offer: the ability to wait. Beyond the tactics, there is a bigger story here. Kawa UAV says Divyastra's platform doesn't rely on an imported jet engine or any foreign critical subsystem. That's significant because miniature propulsion systems are one of the hardest pieces of defense technology to build domestically. If India can reliably manufacture small turbojet engines at home, that capability doesn't stop at one drone. It could feed into a whole family of future loitering munitions, UAVs, and precision guide systems. For now, Divyastra Mark III is still early in its development. The August 11 flight was only its maiden test, and more trials will be needed before it's considered ready for operational use. But the underlying idea, a weapon that can wait, find its target, and then close the distance fast, is the direction loitering munitions are heading globally. Divyastra Mark III is India's entry into that race, and it's one worth watching as it moves through further testing.